Hello again, I'm Beatriz Fedeli. Welcome back to the studio. Our painting is going to be this beach sunset. Imagine yourself up there. And we're going to apply the colors. We're going to take the longest doing the sky because the sky is really the picture. Then later on I will show you how to put some of the grasses to feel like we are in the beach. So let's get rolling. Hello again, friends. For today, we're going to be painting something that is very, very satisfying, which it is a sunset landscape. Applying some of the techniques that we've been learning in the latest episodes of my watercolor basis, how to. If you are not familiar with those, please go back and see them. It will refresh your mind. And we're going to be using here a few of the gradients, the two-color gradient, and also the one color that I will show you later. I'm preparing for my colors for a good true sunset. Red, I got Pyrrole, let me show you. I got Pyrrole Red Light by QR. I also have my Hansa Yellow Light by QR watercolors. And last, this one is Indian Yellow by Daniel Smith. Okay, so my paint is is activated. I got it the 3 piles. I can dip more on it as needed. Got my paper towel, and let's move this. And we're gonna start by wetting our piece of paper. So now I'm just wetting my paper. We're gonna be working on wet paper. Like I said, the gradients are always easier to do when we work on and wet, especially because we're going to be mixing different paste colors. It's not I'm not working on I'm working in good quality paper, but not in a huge piece of paper. You're going to start with the sand. It is, and it's going to be kind of here. We will have like a semi-horizon line. So I'm putting my yellow here first, kind of curve. Then I rinse my brush and I pick up my Indian yellow. Now, see how, because my color is, my paper is wet, I'm working wet on wet, I've been able to put them like this. My color is spray. Now I'm bringing the darker red right there, and as I get, this is darker, let's wait a little bit so I have more time to play with it. Darker in the top, and then I'm gonna be making it lighter as I get with these two. Now, I don't wanna have these lines. So, because my paper is wet, I'm gonna tilt to see if some blending is happening. Say for, which I have a little bit, as you can see. But say for example that you were not having, and let me tell you, yellow is a color that kind of dries fast. So this area is getting a little dry. You could also get any spray bottle, spray a little bit of the water, and then voila, you already activated. It's better that you do it with the spray and not with your brush, because the natural way will always blend nicer and better than not if I try to do it with my brush. Now, I want a smooth transition, and I don't have a smooth transition here. So what do? I go back, like if I'm doing my gradient, I'm going back. I want this part over here to be the darkest of all. So let's bring more of that color. I want this to be a hole, so we just get a little bit of the spray one more time, so it gives me extra time. And darker, and now I start bringing it down without putting too much pressure, just like I did in my 2 gradient video. You can check it out if you need a refresher. Now I rinse my brush and I go, oops, which I got a little bit with red, that's okay, with my Indian yellow. I bring a little bit there, and I'm bringing it down. I'm going in a circular motion because that's kind of how the sunset, the sun goes. If you want to look at it tonight. And now I bring in my my yellow, but I want to have an area which is almost like white. And once more, we are gonna tilt this, and now I'm gonna start going on to this direction too, so that the colors blend. If I start getting a dark line out there, it means that my colors are blending good. So now I go over here, and if not, spray again to activate. So one direction, the other direction, again, go like this if you need to. Up and down. And flat to evaluate. Now I'm gonna get myself a brush that doesn't carry as much water, because now I'm gonna start bringing more pigment and less water. So I'm going back to my Scura Perla. This is a number 12, and I'm bringing that one over here. I still continue to go in a circular motion. Okay, rinse, Indian yellow, bring it over there. I'm gonna go the Indian yellow, clear, continue with that one. Now I'm switching to my primary yellow. And I continue to leave one area, but if I don't bring color and I don't bring water, I'm gonna have a dry spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring only water, and then I'm gonna have that over there. All right, and I think that this will be the last time that we go with these colors before we introduce a little bit of a blue to darken this area. So let me go take some of this out. Go on this, and up and down. Okay, so I feel like let's just bring that water in. I feel like we got a good blending now, and now I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna bring some of this blue, which is my what is it, the Indanthrone blue, and we're gonna bring some of that right here on the corner while everything is still wet. Okay, so keep that in mind. But in the skies, oops, I got a drop of there, be careful, came out of my brush. And sunset, you will go from light to medium, and then eventually you start getting the dark, which will be the dark of the night, right? So I'm putting it over here. I'm gonna give it one more transition with red over there, and once again I'm gonna do my blending by having the board moving around. I'm gonna help it a little bit with my spray bottle. Spray bottle is your friend when it comes to this thing, and a lot of blending still is happening because everything is wet, and that's what we want. And if it is not happening too much, which is not here in the top, I go back with my color, bring a little bit more of the blue, a little bit more. Oops, that may be slightly too dark. It's okay. And once again, if I put that color, I don't want it to go right into my yellows, because then it will give me browns. So I put kind of like a barrier, if you will, of red. Then when the red and the blue mix, is gonna give me some beautiful purples. I can take some of the water out of my brush with paint, and now I introduce extra water. Let's do some blending. up and down. Some is sneaking in here, so be careful. Oh, this is so much better. All right, let's bring it down a little. Down, down, down. See how it's moving? But when we move the color down, this gets a little bit lighter, so we can either go in the opposite direction, go a little bit to the side. I think that this is getting a little too much, so let's just go on to this. In the meantime, a little bit of the blue out here. Now I'm gonna move it the opposite direction. Blue, blue, blue. Yes, this is taking a long time to make the sky, but guess what? This painting is basically all sky. So take your time doing your sky when the 3/4 or more of the painting is about a sky. Okay. And I think that this is gonna be, I'm just gonna push a little bit of the dark reds to the side, but I think that this is almost ready now. We are almost ready for a sky to let it flat so that it starts drying by itself. It is very important to do two things. One, collect all of this water that is here, and also to let this dry, be patient, let it dry by itself so that we don't interrupt all the blending that it is continuing to happen. I don't know if you can see how much shine I have. There's a lot of shine. So it's a lot of blending happening still. If I was gonna bring my hair dryer right now, I will get big lines. While if I leave it to dry flat like this by itself, blending still is happening, and that will not happen. You know, actually, what I'm gonna do, I mean, nobody likes to see paint dry, but I think I'm gonna do a very fast time lapse so you can see the difference. Here you can appreciate as the shine gets lost because it's drying, how the blending happens in such a smooth way. That's why I allow it to dry by itself. Okay, our sky has dried. If you find this like a little difficult to manage 4 colors at the same time, just do it like I did in the video that about 2 color gradients that I'm gonna put a link in the top, and add 2 colors first, or 3 if you feel comfortable with that, and then add, if you do the yellow and the Indian yellow, then when it's dry, then you can add the red and the blue, or put the 3 first ones and then you add the, as you wish. But make sure that if you go that route, that you dry completely every layer, and then as you add the new color, you can mess around, but as you go down the other colors, is very, very lightly with water and no pressure at all. All right, so let's just finish this and turn this into a landscape. I want to give myself a little horizon line. Let's just see, this will be half. No, I want less than half. Let's just say kind of something like this. Very light pencil line. I don't want nothing hard, just to guide me. A little bit darker than that. Let me put, there you go. So we're gonna mark our horizon yellow with my red. It gives me orangey, but I want it slightly darker. So to this, I'm gonna bring a little bit of the blues that I was using, the tip of my brown, of my brush, and it gives me kind of like a brownish kind of color. All right, so with 2 brush, I'm getting 1 with only water. So yeah, let's get the paper towels ready. This is only water. I don't want a whole lot of water. I'm already, every time that I go back, when I have color in the bottom, I try to be very light with my water so I don't disturb the layer that is at the bottom. So let's just bring these colors. I'm bringing these colors. I'm trying to get it where you can see it, but let me see if I put it here. And now I go to mark the horizon line. I go with this, and before it dries, I go with water so that it blends. Okay, I can do it like this, or now that this is wet, I'll bring it down a little bit more, and I can go back and leave it light, bring it a little bit more, keep it like that. I can play. So going back with my water, and over here I'm gonna put some dark grasses, so I don't need to have too much over here because it's gonna be covered. So that will be the horizon line. Let's just put maybe as a sandy beach, and then we can put maybe there's some sand going over here, and scrub some of that before this one dries. I'm using, unfortunately, too low of a brush, too small of a brush, but I'm coming with my water. I think I can make it work. And now I'm just gonna pick everything that I can from there and from the blue, and I start darkening it up, because every time it's kind of like when you put yourself out on a window and then you try to take a picture, you will look dark. Well, this is the same thing. Every time that you see a sunset, the things they are against it, it's kind of like they come darker, pretty dark. So I just picking up whatever it is in my, I'm just trying to get this dark, so whatever is in my palette, a little bit of purple, why not? Yellow is gonna give me, yellow and purple are gonna give me brown, so bringing it over here. I'm not gonna bring it much higher, just to here. But I am gonna get that with the blues from the palette, and I'm making it dark. For right now, I just want a little bit of dark, but nothing. Let me see so you get to see what I'm doing. Picking some of these, and with all these blues that I have over here, trying to get it darker. Okay. And now, once again, we're gonna let this dry. A little more red. So I'll bring in my red. I run out of it. Do like I said, not like I do. So bring some of that, and now I want it to look more brown. So that's, for that I needed my red. Okay. Okay, a little bit of the Indian yellow with my red. Move it around. And I can do this because this is wet, but now at this point I want it to dry, leave it alone. Okay, and just by putting that thin line with water, you see how all of a sudden we got like the sky and reflections. Let's finish this painting, it's looking really good. So for the next step, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my synthetic brushes, the Skoda, the big Skoda Pyrrole number 12, and I'm also gonna have a number 6. I have my black, the one that I mixed. I'm gonna leave a link out there so that you can see the video where I show you how to make blacks and how to mix blacks. And the one that I'm using today is the one that I mix with, oops, be careful with this. You get, when you're moving it too close to your painting, then you can get the dark. But now we're gonna have to play around with that. Oh well, accidents happen. Let's see how we fix it. This is the one, as I was saying, that is French ultramarine with burnt sienna. So, starting with my thin brush, I have my other one ready with water. I'm gonna start putting some impressions of grasses. So, say for example, put some like this. Get thinner one. Maybe another one will go this way. I don't want this to be too harsh, so I'm gonna start putting some water. Again, I tried to show you this, but I don't want to splash and the rest of my painting, so just do natural looking grasses. Some will bend, some will stay straight, and then we're gonna start bringing a dark color right here. So, to have a transition, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit of burnt umber. So there is a little bit of transition between that one and my darker black. As always, I mix this one, burnt umber, and then we're gonna put some fractions over here. It gets into the brown, the blacks. Maybe with a little bit of red as well. And now we wet these. Okay, I'm gonna bring in this around. Let's put some here as well. And let's continue with our grasses. Actually, what I'm gonna do is finish applying dark over here, and then we will go from this to the top. So now this is my black. It's darker here, like the sky here has more blue, so it's a lot darker. And while this is where I put this on hold, so to speak, it's pretty wet. So now we start doing big grass. But we want some of these red colors to show through here at the bottom too, so that it's not even. Bring some of my water, and now I'm gonna start. I need to get enough paint and my tip of the brush. Fix it. Just get some that are going to one direction, something going the other. We're not trying to be perfect. Just give the impressions. Okay. Let's get some more over here. Yeah, I'm gonna wet so that the bottom get some darker. And here I start with thicker brush strokes. Okay. We have quite a bit up there. Let's go from more to less. and then get a low, another, and we want it thinner there, and then as we get more to the bottom, then we start thickening it up. Impressions read as full things. We don't have to make them all. Now, this is also a good exercise for how to fix a mistake. My plan was to go from more to less. I got unfortunately dirty my sky, so now I had to put a few big ones. They're gonna cover it up, and we can have one going, say, from here it's coming from somewhere out there. It's a big bitch. All right. And just like that, we got our mistake fixed. Let's get a few crossing over here at the bottom. And this cannot be with nothing, so yet again, we put some impressions here too. Okay, and just like that, our painting, let's just get some more darks over here. Just like that, our painting is done. Without this, it makes a lot more sense. I'm taking this one out. See, now it seems like it's coming from that direction. I have to be careful because my bottom paint is still is wet. So the rest of the tape, and voila, gorgeous sunset painting, applying some of the techniques that we've been using, gradients and mixing of colors in the paper. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you give it Asian makes perfect. I understand that making this, the blending of the colors requires a little bit of practice. Practice first if you had to do it in a square piece of paper like we did in the video that I'm gonna put over here for 2 color gradients. And once you get a little bit of the practice, move on to a little bit bigger, not a big, huge painting, you know, this side is perfect, and practice the colors. And then let it dry. As it dries by itself, the colors continue to blend, and they give us these beautiful gradients that you don't see any lines. So have fun with it. Let me know how it went, and I will see you in my next video.